It's very difficult to speak last. Um, it's a blessing also because most of the distinguished speakers have covered everything for me, making my life very easy. And it's difficult also because I was thinking while listening everyone what exactly I'm going to speak because most of the things which we're doing in whether in UK or US or in Canada, in Australia also, we are doing almost a similar stuff. So just quick background, those who doesn't know me, I'm professor of accounting, finance, and corporate governance here at Macquarie University in Sydney. We are a very large setup, around 50,000 students. 50% of those students are international, coming from 70 to 80 different countries, mostly from Southeast Asia, China, or South Asia as well, Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, and other places. And we are quite ranked high, 138 in the world. We are top 10 in Australia. And Australia is very, large in terms of setting up TNE in the world. We in Australia in higher education is an industry of around 40 billion US dollars, which is the third largest income earners for Australians here after mining and agricultural industry. And in Australia, we get students from over 140 different countries. We're a very small country of 26 million people only, with 45, 46 universities. But when we talk about Australians, we also cover New Zealand's 6 universities. So we are not as large as Pakistan's 250 million people with 275 universities, as alluded earlier. We are very, very small, but we are very, very large and contemporary and modern in terms of higher education in the world. So I was just reflecting on presentations earlier. That's what exactly is transnational education for Australia, especially from Macquarie universities, because I also look after CAF group as a chairperson of all Australians and New Zealand universities. At the same time, my work with different governments in Southeast Asia and in China especially, that's how we are setting up our transnational educations with over 120,000 students, especially coming to China, to India, and then to Australia, and then vice versa also to China and India. In some countries also, and I wish we have similar programs in Pakistan, and which I'm aiming perhaps we would do it in the future. So we have two models. One model is we build a franchise-style campuses. We just started with Nanjing Normal in China. That's one model. The other model is we have articulation collaboration MOU style of dual degrees. Some are double vertical degrees, some are just double degrees. When they do 2+1+1, 2+1, they're just to make qualifications easier and cheaper for any overseas student for us. Besides that, MOUs or articulations or double verticals or double degrees, we do, waive off fees for students who come to us. For example, any Pakistani student coming to Macquarie University, we give $10,000 to a partner university per year, which is for a 4-year degree is around $40,000. For a master's degree, around $20,000. Similarly, for PhDs at different levels of support, which we provide only with those universities where we have a sort of a transnational type of arrangements. So that's one way of doing that. Second is our own course where we have either exchange programs, and exchange programs are with over 250 universities in the world, but mostly in Europe, Southeast Asia, and Asia means China, and in the US also, where our students would go, or perhaps their students would come to us and complete their degrees or part of their degrees as well. That's another thing we do. And this could be done through a global leadership program, GLP we offer, or the other form of that engagement is through shadowings, which they do it for short term, like 1 unit or subject, or 1 course, or even less micro credentials they do, and they complete it and go back and get credit for the full degree back home where they belongs. So that is the second tier, second type of transnational education which we do. And third type of arrangement is as I said, articulations, where a student completes a part of degree at institutions where we have completed a course level mapping and we ensure quality of the courses undertaken in a partner universities overseas, and then we bring those students here and then they complete those degrees with us. But mostly we have done this with universities in China, in India, Vietnam, Bangladesh. Recently, we have done. I'm aiming perhaps in next few weeks when I'll be in Pakistan, perhaps 1 or 2 universities. I'm signing MOUs with them, and that is also 2+1 type of arrangements where we will bring those students here and completing degrees either in Pakistan or in Australia. Now, in that process, what we ensure is obviously quality assurance and quality enhancements. We expect they teach what we teach here. They teach the way we teach at those places. We have moved away from that model of in-person and face-to-face. We are mostly in a blended learning, and that's exactly is the expectations. I think Professor Nawaz has very nicely explained AI, and I wanted to touch a little bit on AI, but Professor Nawaz has made life easy for me. That is the way forward, and we are very, very advanced in terms of delivering teaching using AI tools. And that is the way forward. I think we need to accept that the future of education, future of work, and future of knowledge generation is all about AI. We can't live without that. And we are investing heavily in AI and ensuring that any partner institutions of Macquarie University or any student coming to us have that particular knowledge. The other thing which we do is the cultural adaptation. I think Professor Rehan has covered that one very nicely. I think that's very important because I have noticed students coming from, especially from developing countries or emerging markets like Pakistan, often there is a cultural fit when they try to fit into the job market or labor market here. And I think that's is the area where we spend a lot in terms of training them while they're home and they arrive here. We spend 2-3 weeks on them on understanding Australian culture, understanding language, understanding indigenous culture also. That's is a whole journey before they start their academic qualifications. Last thing maybe I'll cover, again, Professor Rehan has covered that one very nicely, is on regulatory requirements. Especially Australian regulatory requirements are very complex, very, very complex. We have to go through course re-accreditations and accreditation again and again, and especially finance courses or marketing management and others courses, they are also accredited by independent bodies. Business schools, which I chair, is accredited by AMBA or ACFIS or RWCSP. So that's the third layer of accreditations. At the same time, because I also chair accounting, then there are accounting bodies like Chartered Accountancy or CP Australia, ACCA. So we go through their accreditation process. So that layer after layers accreditations. And that is beyond, TAXA, like Higher Education Commission in Pakistan or Australian qualification frameworks, and those, requirements. And if we have any international collaborations, their regulatory requirements, especially in China, they're very rigorous and very, very stringent in terms to follow. So those regulatory frameworks impact us a lot. And as you know, education sector is changing rapidly, in fact, changing fast. And then at the same time, we have regulatory requirements. So the load of head of schools, head of institutions or executive committees within or groups within universities, it's a tremendously has changed. And the nature of work which we are doing, that has also changed a lot. So if we ensure quality education and quality delivery, then we have to tick all those boxes in terms of ensuring that we meet expectations there. Now, beyond regulatory requirements, because we are a university of engagement and employability, we ensure we have a 100% success rate for our graduates, whether they are international students, because in Australia, it's a reality, any student coming to Australia is not often they come for immigration also. Now, we want our students when they finish their degree, they also are get a proper employment or employability is there. So it means the expectations of our employers, like big four consulting firms or large commercial organizations, we do connect with them, and we also try to meet their expectations. It means the courses which we offer or you offer, there has to be a connected course, a nexus between industry and academia. I think that is very, very important. So gone those days when a professor used to sit in her office, design a course. It doesn't happen that anymore. It has to be connected with the industry, and that's what all modern contemporary universities are doing, whether they are in Canada or UK or US or in Australia. That's what the modern education is. And I'm sure in Pakistan also a similar pattern is followed. But when we design a course, we always have an industry advisory board or committee which help in designing those courses for us. So, and the reason for that is when international students come to us, they follow and they have international education is of that particular standard. So I will stop it here. My details are easily available on LinkedIn. You can connect with me, or if there's any question, please send an email to me. I'm happy to discuss and connect with you on any collaboration in the future or advice on a course design. I sit on the IFAC group also. I sit on the National Board of Education of Chartered Accountants. I do advise to different governments, especially China government, and quite recently Bangladesh and Nepal as well, on advisory capacity. I think that is something which a similar can be for your universities as well. So with this, I'll stop it here. And I know that we have already exceeded 1 hour of the time earlier given to us. If there's anything I can do for Pakistan and for this group particularly, I'll be happy to do. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir, and thank you very much.